got going on today. All the farmers are showing up, and it's exciting to see what we're going to be cooking. So we made it to the Urban Harvest Farmers Market. We got fresh produce, we got great food to taste, we have live music. Welcome to Currant Kitchen. We are back at Vintner's Own for another wine dinner. We did it in the past, really focused on the food and the waiters and how it all interacts. This time we're going to go more to front of the house. We're going to show a few dishes, how they're made, but also talk to people what makes them want to go to a wine dinner, what does food mean to them, and how the whole interaction and what to expect when you go to a 6-course wine dinner. So come join me. We're going to get in there, we're going to talk to people, and we're going to have a lot of fun.
Did you talk to her? Yeah. That's what I emailed you.
How is it? Good?
I love the sweetness and the sourness of the chutney. It's like, you have the sweet flavor, and then you have the taste of the cucumber, I believe, coming through. It's delicious.
So welcome back to Currant Kitchen. As promised, we were going to talk to a few folks about what this dinner is all about, why wine is important in some people's lives. I'm sitting here with Robert Coughlin, which is one of the owners of Vintner's Own that we're doing the 6-course wine dinner on today. Robert, what does this mean to you? What is this all about?
Well, this is obviously exciting. The ownership group and I have only had the business, well, just less than a year. But all of us had a passion for wine, different kinds of wine. We also have a passion for the city of Houston and for Texas in general, and thought, well, what a neat ability to combine our interest in wine and in Houston by having a local winery and then getting together with folks like you to show what really wonderful culinary arts we have in the city. So
has wine always been a big part of your life, or?
Well, it has, and I hope the TABC isn't listening, but I'm a Navy brat, and we spent a lot of time in the Bay Area in California. And so my parents would take me to Napa Valley, and I learned to appreciate the art of winemaking, and this was back in the early 70s. My parents had even been there in the 60s when the wine industry in California was nothing. In fact, Californians were selling their excess wines to wine grapes to Europe because they didn't have enough demand for them here. So I have a long kind of history and love of wine.
So here in Vintner's Own, it's kind of a different twist, being that you can make your own wine, but you also produce wine yourself, right? That's correct.
We can make wine for custom wine however you want. Some people just want something as simple as just a basic good Cabernet or Merlot or Chardonnay, but they want to put their personal label on it. They want to make a personal message. And that's one great thing about wine and food is it can be very personal, intimate among family and friends. One client of ours, his wife was celebrating her 50th birthday. Well, she had 6 cases of special birthday wine, and it was a wonderful hit.
Wonderful. So what is some of the future things that you can expect from Vintner's Own? I know it's initially been small. I know you sold to a few restaurants, but it's obviously growing.
Well, it is growing. Really, our emphasis is initially going to be on the wine buyer, the person that wants to enjoy custom wine at home with their own family personal label. That'll be a large emphasis. We intend to grow that business. On the restaurant side, we would like to develop that business more. It's a little harder business to develop, but we want to allow the restaurants to have their own custom wine and custom blend. Most chefs have very good knowledge of wine, and there's things that they want, and so we want to be able to provide that to them. We also, just to the retail customer who maybe want to buy 3-4 cases just with a family label, we can even customize that. So
what can someone expect if they were to want to make their own wine? What is the time frame? Because obviously it's not going to happen overnight. There's a process. What would you generally say?
Well, it can be as involved or uninvolved as you want. We're going to give the wine lover the choice. But if you go through the whole process, you get to meet with our master winemaker, and he will make a custom wine profile for you. But if you're going to do a Cabernet Sauvignon, that crush happens in October. That's when the grapes come from California, fresh from the vineyard. And it'll take about 2 years for you to enjoy that bottle of wine. But a Cabernet is a very complex, very particular type of wine. We also sell other varietals of wine that take shorter. But you're looking at about a year to 18 months on average. Now, we have plenty of barrels of wine that's already made, very good wine, that you can come in and buy a barrel or buy a half barrel and we can bottle. And some of them are ready for bottling and you can have your wine in 6 to 8 weeks.
Fascinating. It's the only place that I know of that has this kind of concept. And I truly appreciate that we're getting to do the dinner here. And thank you very much for giving us a little insight about Vintner's Own here in the Heights.
Well, we appreciate you being here, and I'm getting hungry.
Good. We're about to start. So welcome back to Currant Kitchen. I'm your host, Soren Peterson. I'm here with Danielle Sokol, one of the guests for our 6-course wine dinners tonight. We're trying to find out just to see how and why people attend these kind of dinners. And it's a little puppy in the way. Anyway, welcome and thank you for joining us for the dinner.
Thank you for having it.
Well, I believe you've been here before. So
yes, my second time.
Yeah, we did a dinner a couple of months ago, or a month ago, here at Vintner's Own, an 8-course dinner. And this time we're doing a 6-course dinner, but we're really trying to find out why do people attend these. And so, what does food and wine mean to you? And is it some reason, or did you grow up?
Well, my mother was born and raised in Europe, so I think from the get-go I've kind of had a little bit more affluent tastes, but it's definitely exploded the last few years. I love trying different wines. I love trying different foods and different techniques, and chefs are constantly coming up with new ways to prepare dishes and to present things. And to me, I love the spontaneity of a tasting menu. Not knowing what I'm going to get, not knowing what I'm going to eat. I like to try everything at least once. And so to me, it's just exciting. It's just fun. You get to try different wines and you get to learn about the people preparing the food, the people making the wine, and how it kind of all just comes together. And it just makes me happy. I love food and wine.
Yeah, and it's interesting with food and wine pairing is always interesting because everybody is different.
Yes.
So to hit most people in the wine dinner with the exact pairing is pretty unique. And Houston, how long have you been in Houston?
I'm actually north of Houston, but I've been here for about 8 years.
Okay. So you've seen the last probably, 3, 4, 5 years how Houston has really...
It's really kind of taken the food industry by the reins, and just preparation and, you know, the entire farm-to-table concept is just, it's really refreshing because you start going to restaurants and you can, you know, the chains, and you can kind of taste that it's chainy, and then you go to a restaurant that's a little bit more innovative and unique and uses the freshest, most in-season produce, and you really can taste the quality, and you can tell, okay, this wasn't pre-frozen, this wasn't shipped in from who knows where. So, and I think Houston's really accelerated in that department.
Well, it takes people like you to embrace it. You know, lots of restaurants are popping up, but the melting pot in Houston just helps embrace the whole farmers market, building menus based on that. You see in the last couple of years, especially Urban Harvest, which is one of the bigger farmers markets, has really grown. Whether it's a rainy day or it's really hot outside, people still come out and check it out and see what's in season. And growers has really become a lot more flexible to produce stuff for restaurants and individuals to play. Well, the dinner is about to start, and I bet people are getting hungry, so we should probably head over there and get started.
Perfect.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so
talking to me,
much.
and thank you for joining us today.
You're so welcome. Looking forward to it.
Wonderful.
Thank you.
So welcome back. We are doing the first course of a 6-course wine dinner. We're gonna make a ricotta dumpling with a little bit of Gulf shrimp and a spinach broth with a little bit of arugula as well, and then some shaved Asiago cheese. So the simple step of the first part is we took ricotta cheese, shrimp, mixed it up, a little bit of eggs, flour, fresh herbs, and a little bit of breadcrumbs just to make it set up. And we made a beautiful vegetable broth with carrots, celery, onions, a little bit of fresh herbs to kind of flavor it up. And then we took that broth and we actually pureed the arugula and the spinach in it, so you create this nice green broth out of the vegetable broth. And then we're gonna finish it with a little bit of Asiago cheese, just to get that saltiness and the sweetness of the stock. So what we did was we basically made our mix, and it's almost like a soft dough that we prepared, and you simply set it inside the simmering stock. Now make sure it's not boiling. If it's boiling, it's going to break the little dumplings apart, and they need to usually sit about 5 minutes. When you see them come to the surface, that means they're ready. So we kick-started a couple here. So basically you see the soft dumpling, very delicate. And that's the key. The key is to get it to where it doesn't get too hard or too soft. It holds enough together so when you poach it, it actually will stay together, but yet again, when you cut into it, you want it to be almost like butter, like a soft butter. So we add some of the broth on top, a nice rich vegetable broth with the spinach, and then a little trick as far as doing the cheese. We have the Asiago cheese. Instead of grating on a grater, just take a peeler, a vegetable peeler simply, and just peel it along the side so you get these nice flaky pieces on top, which are going to create that saltiness with the sweetness of the spinach and the arugula. So first course is about to go out. First course, seafood dumpling, Gulf shrimp dumpling with ricotta cheese, arugula spinach broth, and a little bit of Asiago cheese. Enjoy.
Wanted to say hello, and my name is Shannon, and thank you all very, very much for coming this evening. This is hopefully going to be an ongoing deal with Soren and Vintner's Own, and prepare yourself for Soren's culinary delight. And he's anyway, sorry, I'm getting a little nervous. But anyway, we have a lovely 6-course prepared dinner by Soren, matched with Vintner's Own wines. These wines have all been made here at Vintner's Own. Some of them will be stuff that Vintner's Own has made, and some of these wines are wines that some of our clients have made. For instance, part of the custom winemaking experience is coming in and obviously making your own wine, guided by our talented winemaker, Simon. However, if you do a half a barrel, for instance, we'll take your other half. And so I'll tell you any funny stories or anecdotes related to any of the wines that we serve tonight. But Soren's going to be telling you about some of the dishes, and or excuse me, about all of the dishes. And when he does,
Just depends on how easy we get.
yeah, and you're on your own on the rest. So. And I'll be telling you about the wines that go along with it and the flavors and how they're complementary with the meal. And of course, if you have any questions or if you'd like to get a little bit more of a tour or anything like that, I'm around. I'll be sitting over here. So once again, thank you for coming and bon appetit. The first wine, the wine that we're drinking, and the wine we had with appetizers and the wine with the first course is a 2011 unoaked Chardonnay. So you'll, the cool thing about unoaked is people have been drinking a lot of oaked Chardonnays, oaky, buttery, and this is a stainless steel. It's been aged in stainless steel, and so it maintains some of the integrity of the original Chardonnay grape. So you can take the nice citrus qualities and the tropical fruits in it.
So welcome back in the kitchen. First course is gone, eaten. Now we're ready for the second course. We're gonna do a beautiful beet salad with a little bit of blue cheese, some pea shoots, and some Serrano ham that we julienne, which means we sliced it thinly, and then we just seared it on the pan to get it nice and crisp. Next, we're gonna add a little bit of fresh pea shoots we picked up from the market. The beets we got from the market again this weekend as well, and then a beautiful blue cheese to kind of get that creaminess and yet a little saltiness on top of the plate. So the beets we roasted, whole roasted them with the skin on, rubbed a little bit of olive oil on them, cooked them for a couple hours until they're nice and tender, and so we simply sliced them, peeled them, and sliced them. So we're gonna do a couple of beets on the plates. We made a nice mustard glaze, which is very simple. A little bit of vinegar, a little bit of mustard, a grain mustard, and brown sugar. And it balances out the vinegar with the brown sugar and the spiciness from the mustard. And that's gonna add just a little bit of interesting touch on, along with our beets and our blue cheese. It's just a little bit on top. Fresh pea shoots taste just like fresh peas, like you remember maybe from when you were a kid and going to the country and actually stopping at the side of the road and picking up some fresh peas. And then you have the saltiness from the prosciutto. And very simple dish, very, very simple. So the blue cheese, creaminess from the blue cheese, the sweetness from the beets, and then the pea shoots, and a little bit of Serrano ham, and the mustard glaze. That second course about to go out. We'll see you in a little bit for the third course. Second course for people that still have some left. I'm sorry, I'm a little bit late. I did some pickled beets, got some beets from the market, and instead of doing a traditional pickle on them, I actually roasted them. So roasted them ahead of time and then put them in a pickling juice. Nice little blue cheese, took some prosciutto and sliced it, crisped it up in the oven, and then fresh pea shoots. Hopefully you taste the freshness like, early summer day, summer, I guess it is. So you really taste those peas, that crispiness with the prosciutto and the softness of the cheese. So
did you shop for this morning?
Not this morning, but Saturday morning. Saturday market is a big thing. We go to East Side every Saturday. We do a little demo, and we also shop. And it's a great market. I mean, I'm sure some of you have been there, but it's really, no, it's actually down by, it's between Alabama and Richmond, right after Kirby, coming from here. First light after Kirby. There's a parking lot every Saturday from 8 to 12. It's packed. Probably about 60 different vendors. Anywhere from meats to produce to whatever you can imagine, and then they sell food, and then there's guys like me that don't make any money and just give food out. But anyway, so it's a great market if you get a chance. They also started on Sundays now from 12 to 4.
So paired with this this course is a 2010 oaked Chardonnay. It was aged in the barrel for 1 year. It's not a buttery oaky Chardonnay. It's just simply been oaked and went through secondary malolactic fermentation, and we racked it periodically to clean the sediment out of the barrel. The sediment, leaving the sediment in the barrel, is actually what causes the buttery flavors. So that being said, you'll notice it's a little bit lighter than some of your heavy oaky buttery Chardonnay, which will pair well with this lovely course, the beets and whatnot. So anyway, enjoy.
So we're back again. We had third course. Second course went out. It's gone. We are back to third course. Third course is a take on the comfort food. We basically, like chicken pot pie, instead of chicken, we actually did a cremini mushroom. Beautiful cremini mushrooms from Cat Springs that we simply sauteed, add a little bit of cream, and as a twist and a finish, we actually did finish it with a little bit of camembert cheese, which is similar to a brie cheese, but like a really creamy camembert. You finish it in the end, stir it up, pour it into your pie shell, cook it in the oven. In this case, we add a little bit of egg for presentation. We're trying to do a sliver. So we add a little bit of eggs and a little bit of flour to it, cooked it in the oven, and on top of that, we're gonna add some fresh apple slaw. So the apple, basically slice it really thin, and what that's going to do, the creaminess in the pie, is actually going to be offset with this crispy apple that has a little bit of acidity in it. So slice it real thin. It's going to have a little bit of olive oil tossed into it, and then season with a little bit of salt and pepper. Just a little bit of fresh pepper. Toss it nicely with the olive oil. Cut a little sliver of the pie. Kind of get under there. See the nice cremini mushrooms in it. A little bit of fresh apple. Just a beautiful summer dish that, keep in mind, they're having 6 courses, so you really want to assume that by the end of the meal, all the 6 courses combined like a 3-course meal. So not overly full, just a little bit to eat. So cremini mushroom, pot pie with some fresh apple slaw. So enjoy. That's enough for 40.
I don't know how much flour you put. I'm gonna let you put it. Because if I'm wrong, I'm leaving.
That's good. Thank you.
I think so. You want me to start setting some of these over to the side?
How about beets after? That was the first mistake in culinary school.
What?
Taking it with cornstarch.
Throwing the cornstarch
It has
in?
to boil before it thickens up, like boil. So if you don't know what you're doing and you keep pouring in because it doesn't thicken up, all of a sudden it goes to a boil, and it's like the spoon will stand up like this.
Anyway, so this is a nice, lovely 2009 Merlot, and it's got nice fruity qualities to it. Paired very well with the pork mignon, which Soren's about to describe. So,
What kind of barrel was it? Not barrel.
it was aged in a French oak barrel, a brand new French oak barrel.
Yeah, cool.
So,
Fabulous.
thank you.
Yes.
I think so.
So this course, the fourth course, which you may be done with already, actually is pork tenderloin, which we just simply seasoned salt and pepper. Did Brussels sprouts with a little bit of serrano ham, and then did an ancho chili, little bit of ancho chili sauce on the bottom, which is made with cream, a little bit of vegetable stock, and then ancho chilies that we toasted first, and then cooked it down, and then pureed it, and so you have kind of like that sweetness from the Brussels, a little bit of spicy from the sauce, and then the great pork. So enjoy. For people that enjoyed already, we'll see you next course.
Thank you.
So welcome back. We just finished the 3 courses out of the 6-course wine dinner. I hope you enjoyed it, talking to people, getting a little bit more insight of what's going on in a wine dinner on a regular basis. If you have more questions about recipes or future dinners, www.currantkitchen.com. You can get all the information that you need, upcoming events, and recipes and whatever else you need. So thank you for watching. I've enjoyed it. I hope you did too. And catch us next time for the last of the 6-course dinner prepared here at Vintner's Own. Thank you.